How you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of Couch Confessions with me, Ignatius Sindison Lovu. Yeah, so today I want to talk about my first time drinking alcohol. So what happened was, it was at varsity, and I never really drank alcohol, like drink. You know, I'd only tasted here and there during like family gatherings and some occasions, but I hadn't really been a person who drank alcohol. So in varsity, some of my varsity classmates used to buy like 2 or 3 bottles of some spirits, and every Friday they would just chill and drink. So this one Friday, they convinced me to join. Peer pressure things. It's real, guys. It's real. So they convinced me to join them, and I like, okay, cool. Let me try it. And we drank, and because I was a newbie, I didn't feel much of a difference. And eventually, we finished all 3 bottles. So there was one Russian beer, and there were 2 Viceroy bottles. So yeah, I think the Russian beer was more effective. But then we didn't stop there. Afterwards, we took a taxi, went to town to this club called Paparazzi. So there at Paparazzi, we continued drinking. So it was now my first time tasting beer. And to make matters worse, I started off with Black Label, Carling Black Label. It was a bad idea. So I got really hammered until I became a nuisance in the club, and they ended up kicking me out. They told me not to come in on that day, not a ban or something, but they kicked me out, and all my other friends decided to just join me, and we went to a different club. It was called Cafe Baku. So there at Cafe Baku, also because I was drunk and I didn't stop, then continued drinking, continued taking it in. And outside the place, there was a wooden fence right round. So I was just out there chilling with my other friend, right? And when I lost my balance, I fell on top of that fence, and it wasn't that strong. So the whole fence right round fell. And everyone was like, what? Some murmuring. And I was told by a friend of mine that I was actually supposed to pay a fine. But then because that friend knew the manager of the club, they just quickly fixed the fence, and they told me to go back inside and not come outside. Cool. I went back inside and started drinking again. And I forgot they told me not to come back inside, come outside. So I went outside again. And when I got there, that friend of mine, I discovered that he had also dropped the fence. So they were now telling us to leave the club. So prematurely, now I think it was around 7 or 8. And we now had to leave the place. So we all left and we went to our separate homes. But now I didn't realize that the first time I fell on the fence, the jean I was wearing got torn. So it was torn from where my back pocket starts all the way to my thigh. So it was a really huge tear, and like my whole behind was just exposed. Yeah, so I didn't notice because I was inebriated. But now, when I got home, I just went there like everything was normal, and I was staying with my grandfather at the time. So he could tell that I was drunk, but he didn't care. So I just came in and greeted him. But now because I'm drunk, I'm not noticing him. I'm not seeing who he really is. So he was sitting on the couch, and I just sat there with him. I was like, where do I know this guy from? I looked at him for some time, maybe 10, 15 minutes, just looking at him. Then finally he said, what's the problem? Why are you looking at me like that? I was like, you know what? Your face looks familiar. I know you from somewhere. Please tell me where I know you from. And he laughed. And he laughed. And yeah, he told me that no, the thing is I'm drunk. Maybe I should just go to bed. Anyway, actually that was a joke. It didn't really happen like that. I went home and went straight to bed. I didn't want him to see me, but he actually did. So when I got home, I went straight to bed and woke up the following day with a very bad reminder that I made a bad decision the previous day with a very bad headache. I was later told that it's called a hangover. Yeah, so that was my first experience of drinking alcohol, and it was a bad one, I think. Cheers, guys.